Hello, I am in Thessaloniki as the president of the jury of the International George Thymis competition. Maestro Thymis was a wonderful person. He was a very multi-talented musician, composer, pianist, conductor, professor. I remember playing with him for the first time more than 30 years ago. And we are in the middle of the second round of the competition. And I have to say very honestly that the level is unbelievable, unbelievable. Same quality, same level as some international competitions where I have been in the jury recently. Last September in the France list competition in Budapest, which takes place every 5 years. Then the first Chopin competition in Beijing at the Central Conservatory. And the level is really amazing. I mean, you hear some young pianists who have really wonderful personalities and incredible piano techniques. Well, my only concern is what will happen with all those wonderful young pianists. Today, you know, the market is getting more and more difficult, but let's be optimistic because they really deserve it. What I am looking for when I listen to a young pianist is a good combination between, of course, the ability to play as well as possible the piano with as less mistakes as possible, the musicianship of the young pianist, the ability to make the piano sing. We have to never forget that a musician is first of all a singer. You know, Chopin used to say that each finger is a singer. He used to say that to his pupils. And it is very important to feel deeply inside yourself the music, to sing it inside yourself as sincerely as possible and as intensively as possible in order to communicate it to the audience, because the sound is only a physical vehicle. And if you feel strongly and intensively and you sing inside yourself the music, then the sound will transport the musical emotion to the audience. And this is what I am looking mostly when I listen to a young pianist, his or her ability to convey, to communicate the musical emotion. Somebody can make some mistakes or have some memory problems, but if he or she succeeds to achieve this goal, I think it will help him and her to get into the finals. Because now we have to see among the 12 candidates who played yesterday and who will play today, we have to select only 3 for the finals. On next Friday they will play a concerto, right? So the combination is important of all those elements, but I think the artistic aspect is more important than the technical aspect. Thank you.
You know, it was really very high level, and I was very satisfied with almost all participants, you know. It was really very, very nice to listen to them, and maybe only 1 or 2 people were a little bit lower than average, you know, but it's normal. It was very good level. Yeah. For me, it is very, very important to find the really artists. Not just playing all notes and exactly and perfect, but sometimes with the shortcomings, I just close my eyes and my ears, and I don't want to make really attention for these shortcomings they have sometimes, because they are really, some of them are really artists. So for me, it is very important.
This year, I think we had an exceptionally high level in our 8th production of the international piano competition, Giorgos here in Thessaloniki. I think the level can easily be compared with all the major competitions, piano competitions. We always try to have great artists in the jury, and that always helps. It is an initiative for young pianists to come here from all over the world. This year we were very happy to have had 44 pianists from 19 different nations. What we consider in a potential finalist is, of course, his technical level, which is always necessary, but this is the first decision. Then, what we really try and we search for is the music he makes, the architectural structure in his performances. And I think overall what we are looking for is for people who are real musicians and they have a vision. We are trying to find people who are musical personalities, who really want to interpret and even to develop interpretations, because classical music should always be in a perpetual evolution.
We've got contestants from all around the world, well, from Asia and a lot of Europe, none from the Southern Hemisphere, unfortunately, or from America. I would say the very best of the candidates would sit very well in any competition in the world, you know, be it Tchaikovsky or Van Cliburn or anywhere. And the standard, I think, is very, very high, and I think the organisers have a lot to be proud of in organising such a good competition. I think one of the good aspects of this competition is the way it's been designed, so that the candidates have to prepare a Bach Prelude and Fugue, a classical sonata either by Haydn or Mozart, then two studies, one by Chopin, then by another composer, and then in the second round they also play a Beethoven sonata, and then they get to play larger scale works, a large romantic work and works from the 20th century. So there's a great diversity of styles. And what I'm listening for is obviously a connection with each of the styles, but really it's an interest in the sound that one needs to convey the music of each of the different styles or periods. One obviously needs a very different sound for Bach than for Mozart or Chopin. One needs a different sound for Mozart than even for Beethoven. And the very best candidates can really distinguish between this different sound very, very clearly. And they have an awareness of the instruments that the composers had written for. Bach obviously did not write for a modern piano, nor did Mozart or Haydn. But yet you need an awareness of the sonorities that they were writing for, and how we can adapt it to the modern instrument. It's in a couple of instances, some people have not really been able to distinguish between the composers so well. They've had the same sort of technical approach and sonic approach to the Baroque works as to the Romantic works, and so it's really an engagement with I think the sound is the defining character of any great musician, and that's what I'm listening for above all. Yeah.